right. It's dark and it's time to go home. I'm going to take a little different route going home so that you can get a feel of what it's like to go down Front Street. And in order to do that, we're going to take the back way here. This is 11 and 15. Although I think this may be, yeah, we're coming up. We're actually, this is more 15 right now. Well, it's actually 11 and 15. And this is going to get off at a certain spot so that, turn that up a little bit like that, yeah. Yeah, it's nighttime here. It got dark. I usually don't go out this late to eat. But, I decided just rest up around the house before going out. Plus, my foot is still bothering me. I do think that I may have pulled my Achilles tendon. It's back there. Yeah, and as someone at work told me today, Celeste, she said, those things need some time to heal up. So I may actually skip Monday practice. I'll see how I feel on Sunday. But I may skip Monday practice. I don't know. I did something walking down the stairs earlier today, and it felt like I pulled it again. And I've got this swollen knot on the bottom of my foot once more, which is something I had. Thank you for turning on your turn signal. Which is something I had originally when I damaged my plantia. So I'm taking her advice because, like she told me, if you mess your foot up, I know it's your dream to make roller derby, but if you mess your foot up, you're not going to make that dream. And she's right. I need to take care of my feet. I need to take care of myself, and I'm not going to do myself any good if I'm stressing out, my tendons and whatnot, and not letting them heal. Then I'm spending a month on a bad foot, whereas if I took a week off, the situation would be different. And I know what caused it this time was I was pushing hard. So oh yeah, we got a race car here. I actually knew people who owned cars like those when they were brand new, and they were uncomfortable as hell to be in. They really were. So we're taking the back way. This is 11 and 15. And what's going to happen is there's a little bypass that we're actually going to go on. I have to look up the history, but I think the Harvey Taylor Bridge, which we're going to drive over, it probably isn't that old. Well, relatively speaking, it's, like 30, 40 years old. Who knows? I can remember when I first came here, it's been almost 4 years now, and I used to go over these roads when I first went over them, and I was like, oh, I wonder where this goes, and I wonder where this goes, and now I don't even think about it because I've driven these roads so many times. I know all the ins and outs and different ways of getting around Harrisburg. And even though this is Camp Hill, this is what they call West Shore. You hear this all the time. Where are you at? West Shore? Where are you at? East Shore? Where are you at? East Shore? West Shore? It's a big thing here. It's the shores of the Susquehanna. What shore are you on? I'm on the West Shore. Everybody says that. Nobody says, I live in Camp Hill, or I live in Lemoyne, or I live in Mechanicsburg. They'll say first, where do you live? I live West Shore. I always say I live in Harrisburg. I live in downtown Harrisburg. Because that's how we are back in the Midwest. You actually specify where you live. I imagine it's the same thing if you live in New York. If you lived in Manhattan, if you could afford to live in Manhattan, you would probably say, I live on the east side, I live on the west side. Definitely if you say, I live upper east side, or I live upper west side, people in New York City know exactly what you're talking about. They know you're living somewhere on Manhattan Island. So this is, the little bypass they have that takes us to the Harvey Taylor Bridge. Harrisburg has 4 bridges that actually span the Susquehanna. 6 if you count the 2 railroad bridges. And then to the south, down by Steelton, you actually have the Pennsylvania Turnpike. So let's see, Harrisburg, keep left. Here we are. Actually, I could get off here just on the other side of this railroad trestle and go down to 11 and 15 right there. But we're just going to jet right across the bridge here. And this is actually one of the longer bridges because there's no island or anything to go over. So it's about 2/3 of a mile long. And if you break down on a Harvey Taylor Bridge, you have nowhere to go because there are no shoulders. Wonder if you're actually seeing the Capitol like I can see it. This is a great view. There's a baseball game going on tonight because I can see the lights on in the stadium. City Island is just to my right, and that's where I think it's the Harrisburg Senators play there. They're a AA baseball team. And around 10 o'clock or so, there will be fireworks going off, because there always are. So here we come up. If I go straight, I'd head toward where I work. I'm going to take a right turn here and go down Front Street. And Front Street is a one-way road. It goes south. Oh, you dumbass. You piss lord. BMW drivers are enormous piss lords. So this is Front Street. This is still the suicide version of Front Street. A little further to the north, they switched it up to 2 lanes plus bike lane. And I know quite a few people used to complain when they did that. They were like, well, they took the third lane away from Front Street. It's like, during rush hour, or when there's a lot of traffic on here, it's like driving a suicide highway. It really is. It's just insane. You really have to have your nerves together to go down this thing, especially if you're in the middle lane. Where you going? Especially if you're in the middle lane and you got cars on both sides of you, because it can get pretty nerve-wracking at times. Where's your race car now? So here we are. In case you're noticing it, this is right close. This is where I actually turned on the Front Street originally. We're going past Pinnacle Hospital. Harrisburg is full of nothing but one-way streets, and Front Street goes one way south for the most part. Jesus. I wish these people knew where they were going. And 2nd Street goes one way north for the most part. And since I live off of 2nd Street, I actually have to go down here to turn so I can get onto 2nd Street so that I can go to my apartment. There you go. And then this is the 2nd Street feeder coming in off of I-83. And I'm almost home. Yeah. So this is it. I think I'll kill it at this point. I hope you enjoyed that trip.